Hello, class. Working right now on our Week 4 uh, vocational stress management video response. Looking over the questions and the first question is, what professional career are you currently or intend to pursue? I'm currently a coach at Mount San Antonio College, tight ends coach. Um, Not only am I doing that right now, but I do plan on doing that in the future. My goals are probably to be first to move up to an offensive line coach, and then eventually move up to a offensive coordinator at a junior college or 4-year institution. Um, Specifically, identify 5 sources of stress that you think those in this career typically encounter. I think it changes from coach to coach and from level to level, as well as from sport to sport. But I think there's always some sort of these stresses in every sport and every career, at least. For me, I would say some of the stresses that I face would be family time, finding time to spend with your family on a regular basis. Also, I would say problem players can be a difficult situation for you to deal with in a stressful situation, especially if that player is a good player. Recruiting is something at the college level that is can be stressful, and a lot of coaches have built careers off just their ability to recruit. Finances can be difficult in any profession. There's always financial situations that you can find yourself in that maybe aren't the most that can be very stressful. And then game situations, especially yeah, at the end of the day, you got to perform. Your team's got to perform, and if your team's not performing, you'll be replaced as a coach. So, making sure that your team is prepared and performing at their best ability is always can always be a stressful situation when it comes to game time. Identify specific means to prevent and treat these stressors. For family time, I try to make sure that there's at least one day out of the week that is completely for family. Um, it's tough when you have multiple jobs as a coach, but I always try to make sure that there's at least one day where it's dedicated to my family, where I'm not going to be answering phone calls, or I'm not going to be just doing anything that has to do with coaching or recruiting or anything like that. That day needs to be just for family. So for problem players, number one, you got to create a culture of unselfishness and a team type atmosphere where guys aren't always thinking about themselves but thinking about their team. And then you got to know who you're recruiting. I try to spend a lot of time talking to a recruit's high school coach, high school position coach, and trying to figure out who he is. Is he a guy who's going to work hard and listen to his coach, listen to the coaching, and take the coaching, or is he someone that's going to have to fight with all the time? Because if he's someone that's going to have to fight with all the time, doesn't matter how good he is, it's not going to help him. It's not going to help me. Recruiting, um, biggest thing I've learned is have a plan and stick to your plan. Know what it is that you need to recruit. Know where those best players are, and then put the work in and go to those schools, talk to those players, find out their contact information, talk to them on a regular basis. I have a spreadsheet that I try to stick to that keeps me organized, and organization is huge when recruiting because you don't want to call a kid twice and and not and first time I call them, have a big old conversation with them, then call them again like I've never called him before, because the kid doesn't want to think that you don't care or he's not worth your time. So you got to have a plan and stick to your plan. Finances is you got to have a plan for your finances. Understand that coaching is not a career you're going to get rich in. Except for those top tier guys who are at the USC's, the Alabamas, and those schools. Those guys are making big time money, but the junior college level and below, it's not going to be life changing type money. So have a plan for your finances. I also have an understanding spouse that I think that my spouse is amazing. She understands that this isn't a get rich type career. She's there for me, and she's always been there for me. She's always been someone I can lean on, and we help each other out. Game situations is preparation is key. You always have to be prepared for everything in a game. Know what your contingency plans are for certain situations. Have a backup plan. Have plan A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z, and make sure that your players are prepared for every situation. I really do believe that preparation is key. You come in knowing what your plan is, knowing how you want to execute it, and have prepared and have helped your players understand what your plan is for the week. Then on game day, it's you're gonna find struggles. You're gonna hit situations that don't work out all the time, but you're gonna be better prepared to handle those situations, especially with the more experience that you have. Some of these verses are awesome, and for me, my biblical advice is, at the end of the day, you understand it's a game, it's a career, it's not your entire life. For me, my relationship with God and my family are my entire life, and when things don't go right, you got to put it in perspective. So those are the things that I do, is when it comes to the spiritual side of it, is put it in perspective. Understand that there's another day tomorrow. Even if you get fired, there's other places that you can go and get a job, and that will take you, and looking for good coaches and stuff like that. So understand that you gotta put everything in perspective and understand what's the most important in your life. So thanks for taking time to watch my video. Bye bye.